So the ultimate goal is for us to remove all of the floating debris from the lake itself. Anything that was event-related, storm-related debris, to get that removed. So in terms of the operation, what you see behind me is kind of the final destination of a lot of the debris that's been removed. So we've got 3 working barges out on the lake. On those working barges, we have a long-reach excavator. So what they'll do is they'll set up, they'll float, they'll pick up that debris. We also have some floating work barges as well. So they'll pick that debris out of the water, they'll place it on that barge. Then once they load up the barge to its capacity, then they'll sail it over here to this location. And then another trio of excavators will then remove that debris off the barge. And then from there, they'll sort it. They'll try to sort it into vegetative debris if we can separate the trees, stumps, anything along those lines, and construction debris, anything that's an old dock, any lumber, things along those lines. And if we find any other items, as you can see off to the side here, we've got refrigerators, hot water heaters, propane tanks, etc. We'll separate those.
You're stationed out of Wilmington, so we're in your home state. Can you describe a little bit for me, maybe both as a colonel but also as a human being, what it's like to have this disaster in your backyard, so to say, as we're here in North Carolina?
I mean, first and foremost, the heart goes out to those that have been impacted, personally by this storm. Obviously, I think it was much more devastating than a lot of us expected it to be. And as you kind of drive around western North Carolina, you can see the impacts that not only the winds had from the storm, but also just the sheer amount of rainfall, which led to some pretty sizable floods of record through many of the watersheds and many of the rivers and creeks and streams out here. I wish it wouldn't have happened, but I'm glad that we are here and we have an opportunity to be able to assist, as the Army Corps of Engineers, in support of FEMA and in support of the local communities. Our mission is to help recover this debris, help get this lake and this town back to kind of pre-storm conditions as quickly as we can. And of course, the first step of that is to try to work to remove the remnants of the storm, which is a lot of this floating debris that you can see around us. You'll see on the side of the roads or even on people's homes and driveways, etc.
How many days, how many hours a week are these crews out here working?
For the most part, pending any type of maintenance issues or extreme weather, we have had a couple of extremely windy days where we're not able to operate the excavators out on the barges. But generally, since we started work, even once they started mobilization, they've been pretty much here working, not 24 hours a day. We're working during daylight hours generally, but they've worked every day since November the 4th.
Is there an idea? You mentioned getting the lake and the community back to some semblance of where it was before. Is there a timeline expectation on when that goal might be achieved?
It's going to take a long time, another 6 months plus. But I mean, for us, in terms of what we've contracted with, our contractor here, kind of that period of performance takes us through the end of March or April just for the floating waterway debris. So we estimated about 22,000 cubic yards of debris just within the lake itself. I think now we've removed somewhere between 16 and 17,000 cubic yards so far. A lot of that was in a very concentrated debris field that I think a lot of people may have seen on social media or just some of the reporting early on in the event. We've removed that floating debris field, and now it's just a matter of us being able to get to all these other items that have now kind of washed up to the shore. So it was easy to get that large concentrated pile of debris. Now it's just going to be a little bit slower, a little more methodical, a little more deliberate as we continue to do those collection efforts.
We had the opportunity earlier today to go see Chimney Rock on a bus that brought us through. Are you associated at all with the cleanup in Chimney Rock outside of this actual waterway?
Yeah, so we also have the right-of-way debris removal mission for the village of Chimney Rock as well as the town of Lake Lure. So we have debris removal trucks out there picking up the debris from the side of the road right now. Some people have chosen to demo their homes because they're not recoverable. As they push those out closer to the roadways, our debris removal contractor will come by and execute those removal ops as well.
Is there anything you wanted to mention that I haven't asked you about that comes to mind with regards to recovering this community?
I mean, I think a lot of people would say that many of these streams, creeks, and rivers have been changed forever and changed permanently. And I know that the long-term recovery is something that's going to take quite a bit quite a bit of time. Obviously we're here. I will always be affiliated with the state of North Carolina, and I will always have, a role to play in terms of supporting not only the debris removal operations and efforts that we have ongoing right now, but also some of the back end long-term restoration and recovery. So excited to be a part of it. Again, like I said previously, wish it wouldn't have happened, but I'm glad I've got an opportunity to help people in the process of what we're doing.
Yeah, I feel like with so many first response efforts, including your own, it's always grateful to see you, happy you're here, but wish wasn't needed in the first place. Wish the whole thing hadn't happened, but appreciate your time.
Yes, sir.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.